If I could say to my younger self at 16, if I could go back into her mind, I would say, you are a strong person. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up, because this is life-changing. It's a traumatic event in your life. And by believing in your abilities, you can go on to do anything that you really put your mind to.
Today, it's going to be a really emotional one for me. I'm going to be talking about my first day as a totally blind person.
This vlog explores Siobhan's sight loss journey in traumatic detail. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. If you've been affected by any of the issues raised, you can call the Samaritans for free in the UK on 116 123 or contact the Royal National Institute of Blind People helpline. The number is in the description. Help and support is available.
These events took place on the 10th of December 1999. It was the day after I lost all of my remaining vision.
I remember waking up about 7 a.m, which was the usual time I get up for school, and I lay there for what felt like ages, but it wasn't. It was only a few seconds, and I just rubbed my face. I knew that I was still blind. I knew that the accident I had the day before was not a dream, and I just sat on my bed for ages thinking, what am I going to do? Where do I go? Loads of feelings and thoughts going through my mind of, how am I going to get to school? How am I going to find my clothes? How am I even going to get up and go to the bathroom and brush my teeth and sort myself out? I kind of gathered myself together, and I needed to get ready for school, and that was my mission. But trying to get out of my room, I had light, shadow, and some colours that I could fall back on. But here I was, standing there, completely in the dark. What do I do? Where do I go? Stumbling around trying to find the door. And I just was thinking in my mind, how am I going to get through today? Let alone how am I going to even dress myself and find the things that I need to find. Although I felt completely hopeless at this time, it does get better. And there is hope out there. I managed to get myself together and make my way to what we called the dining room and living room to go and get some breakfast. But even getting there, I can just remember calling out to staff or anyone that can help. But this is the place that I had been for months and months, so you'd think that I would know it. I felt isolated. I felt stupid. I felt emotional because I couldn't do it. So now I'm relying upon someone to help me. And they were so good. My friends, my close friends, members of staff, key workers who came and supported me. And from that time, when I was calling out for staff, I ended up being on someone's arm constantly. So I fell back into the thought that I'm useless. Why can't I do this? Why can't I just be? I'd lost my identity. I'd lost my self-belief, my self-confidence. Everything was just crashing around me. So I had my breakfast. Finding things on my plate was a struggle. So I opted for the easiest thing, which was toast. Someone buttered it for me. And the next timestamp that I remember is when the bell went and it was school time. So I had to yet again be guided back to my room to go and get my school bag. Gathered all my bits and my long cane, and I was helped by a key worker who to this day will always be my saviour, because without that person I wouldn't have been able to get to school, because I just didn't know my way around. I felt disorientated.
In the UK, around 250 people start to lose their sight each day. Source: RNIB.
People were really supportive, people were really kind and wanting to help me, but actually, I don't know if I really wanted the help looking back, but I'm grateful that I did have it. And it really hit me sitting in class, just thinking, well, here I am. No sight, feeling that I had no future, and yet trying to get through a day of what everyone else was experiencing as normal. It wasn't for me. It got to lunchtime. I didn't want to look stupid and an idiot, so I just said, oh, I wasn't really hungry, even though I knew I was. And then we went on the playground. And it was one boy who was just tormenting me. Tormenting me because I was blind. Yeah, it got round the school that I'd lost my sight. I had an accident. And kids can be really cruel. And at this point, again, I just crumbled to the floor. We finished school and we headed over to where we go and get the taxis so they could pick us up and take the long journey, for me it was, home. It was about a couple of hours from school to home. And those 2 hours just felt like a lifetime. When I did get home, everyone hugged me. And I remember sitting down telling my younger brothers and sisters that the lights have gone out for Shawnie. That Shawnie doesn't see you anymore.
Just the day before, I was able to see shadows and lights.
It was around about 6 o'clock, so tea time, and we were all chatting around the table, and there was a power cut about 6:30, and I remember feeling really upset because I just didn't know what was happening amongst all the chatter and talk at the table. I had just had no idea, and again it hit me like a train that the lights had gone out. Once I'd finished dinner, I then excused myself and just went up to my room. I felt safe and secure being amongst my own belongings, being surrounded by things that I knew. Nothing was going to hurt me, nothing was going to get to me. And just being, again, in my own thoughts, listening to music, just taking myself off into my own little safe space, listening to things that I enjoy.
22 years on, I can see how much hope and life there is, but I just couldn't see it at the time.
If I could say to my younger self at 16, if I could go back into her mind, I would say, you are a strong person. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up, because this is life-changing. It's a traumatic event in your life, and by believing in your abilities, you can go on to do anything that you really put your mind to. There is everything to live for. There is hope, so just keep believing that things will get better. And okay, it might not feel like it at the moment. I'm there with you. My 16-year-old self is there with you. But it does. Believe me and trust it in me that by going through it, I've been there. Honestly, just keep holding on to that little bit of hope and take small steps. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Just before you go, you can ask any questions. I'm an open book. Pop them in the comments below. And if you want to follow my sight loss journey, you can subscribe. And if you're feeling low, you can call Samaritans here in the UK on 116 123, or you can call the RNIB helpline. Both numbers are in the description box below. It's really important to get that support.
If you've been affected by any of the issues raised, you can call the Samaritans for free in the UK on 116 123.